January 15th, and we're gonna do a garden tour to see what this looks like in January. We've got mint growing. This is spearmint or Moroccan mint, but it's got a spearmint flavor. And then this is basil mint, and it really does have a strong basil flavor. January 15th, and they are still growing. You still got some new stuff on there. But we're gonna have a hard frost coming this week, so I think that'll take them out. And that was actual basil that clearly died off pretty early last year. Okay, so we have the greenhouse. We'll probably move that to the other side of the yard, probably in the next couple weeks here. And this side gets full sun in the summer, so we are probably gonna I want to plant fruit trees. So I'm going to get some stuff that needs a lot of sun out here. Over here, this all has to be weeded, but this is kind of a blank canvas. And then over here, we'll come back to all of this fun stuff. And then I'll work our way around the border gardens, because that's where most of the plants are. And once again, yeah, gotta do a lot of weeding. So this is a fine wine Weigela. I'm gonna say all of the plant names wrong, but Weigela. And this is a holly. We've got a lot of heather too. It was like a very fiery red towards the end of the summer, and then it's taken on these kind of white seed heads, or I don't know, shells of seeds. This will be fun. Limelight hydrangea. Figure out how to prune it, kind of keep it more compact. Coming up this next spring, end of winter, early spring, and left all the flowers on it because I think it looks kind of cool through the winter, and it gives birds and bugs and stuff that they need in the winter. Remember what this one is. Oh yeah, Japanese convex holly. So it's about how big it is. We'll see what kind of pruning it's gonna need in the coming years, but it has these really cool like black berries on it instead of the typical red holly berries. All right, and back there, that's a 9-bark, so it has no leaves in the winter. And one of many butterfly bushes. I'm gonna hack this back at the beginning of spring, very, very small, because it was tiny in middle of June, and it's totally taken over all these spots. So it's a pretty prolific grower, and it is still, I mean, just with the winter we've had so far, it's still putting out flower buds and everything. So I think it can handle a hack back. Okay, just kind of noting the evergreen, the height of this evergreen. Looks like it's going to be kind of willowy as it grows. And this is another Weigela. More heather, and then a really cool smoke bush. This thing is fantastic when it flowers, but again, no leaves, except for that one at the very top. Just holding on. All right. Another holly. Another, yeah, there it is. Fine wine Weigela. Another of the holly with the black berries. And this beauty. I think it's a southern magnolia, but magnolia tree, and it's probably gonna get that big, but it may take, I don't know, 20 years to get that big. All right, another butterfly bush we're gonna hack back, and a beauty berry bush, or beauty berry. I didn't know that these berries are going to be purple, but they are gorgeous. And then a couple kind of skeletal remains, 3 skeletal remains of snake root, or sometimes I think it's called cohash, something similar to that. And their leaves die back all the way, and I left the flower stalks on, so we'll chop those down as well pretty soon here. And then we've got a paper plant, and that one is a variegated color, a variegated version, which is why it's got all that splotchiness. Then I've got a lot of these tufts of Japanese forest grass. So once again, those will get hacked back in the spring. We're gonna be doing a lot of big spring cleanup. In this part of the garden, so that other part had mostly sun, pretty much full sun. This is part sun, but it gets quite a bit of shade. So most of these have to be pretty shade tolerant plants. My hellebore is blooming. Very cool. And something's kind of munching on the leaf. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's slugs or something else, but this is one of the few plants that I planted when we first moved in. Oh, almost all the rest of this bed was already done by the time we moved here. Not much special through here. There are a couple, what are they, hostas. So you see kind of the remaining flower stalks from one that's right here, and then there's another one that grows over here. And Bronera that is finally starting to be taken by the cold, since it's finally getting pretty chilly. I'm crossing over here, yet another 3 big butterfly bushes that will get chopped. And in the back there, that's a black lace elderberry, and it was maybe hip height at the beginning of, in the middle of summer, and it has already grown to the peak of the studio. So that thing it blooms on old wood, I believe, so, but it's a fast grower. So I'll probably chop a lot of the branches down just to try to make it a little bit fuller, and then leave some so that we'll still get some blooms in the next year. And then I've got a Floribunda rose bush here. This one is a brick red color. And we've got just another rose bush here with just a little remaining color left right at the very edge. And then lastly, we've got another limelight hydrangea. Again, that'll get shaped and tidied up in the spring cleanup. And we've got the moon gate. I am hoping we're gonna grow some kind of vine around it. Maybe moonflower, maybe a hyacinth, what is it, purple hyacinth. So this side of the house is full sun. We're facing north right now, give or take. So this side gets a lot of sun. The sun sets to the right of this. So it's getting at least, I think, 10 hours a day, all year long. So we're gonna do a lot of full sun stuff here, a lot of stuff in pots there, and then moving the greenhouse so that I can take more advantage of putting things in the ground over here, because I'm not going to use the greenhouse all that much. It's mostly going to be like storage and then maybe a little bit of hardening off for some seed starts. We're actually going to move that, and it's the 6x8 Harbor Freight greenhouse, so it's very easy to pick up and move. It's not bolted down at all. So we'll walk through here. We're going to move it to this side of the house. And this is I don't know if you can hear the chirping, but we've got some hummingbirds that are unhappy that I'm here. But I've got this whole gravel side. It gets a lot of shade even in the summer. So this wood bark area versus the gravel, most of the bark typically stays in the shade as early as like beginning of August. So we're gonna do some veggie planting over here. I've got these raised beds that a friend gave to us, so I'll put them, kind of figure out a nice layout for this gravel space. I've got a couple rain barrels too that we got, so I'm gonna try to hook those up to, probably to, where are we? To this downspout, and then maybe that downspout. And then this little alcove area, the greenhouse is gonna go there. So we'll start to break up this gravel space into the different zones.